Okay. Hoi san yen che dan so ki cho nam lam chan cho bar do da ne gyab so che da ge chen son ye be se nam kim do la pen che san yen do ba sho san ye che dan so ge cho nam la chan chum bar do da ne kyab sun che da ge chen son ye be se nam ge do la pen je san ye do.
In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merits of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Manam kata nyambe sem jen tham je dewa dan deve yoda dembaran gyurje 동알 달 동알 예 교단 타원 교제 동알 매벤대와 다멘 타원 교제 예린 차단 예단 타웨 Tanyo ane brangyurche manam kadanyam besem jen tham je devada deven gyudan dembar gyurche 동알 다 동알 견교 단 타원 교체 동알 매벤데 와다멘 타원 교체 예린 차다니 단타웨 다뇨
May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of the happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Page number 29. sa she bu she chu shen me do ta re ra ling shen yin de kem ban de san ye shin la mi den pul wa yin do gun nam da shin
The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon. By visualizing it as a Buddha realm and offering, may all beings enjoy the perfect purity of this realm.
Page number 34. O sem che nam ge sam ba tha lo ye che ta war che chong tho mon the ba ye che ye ko long go do zo.
Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the greater, lesser, and common vehicles according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Rinpoche la gu cha ze teme ze du yi jing gu du ma de shi zhe wu gu chi da ba dam ze ze ba gu yi chi 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 na me de gu ren ze gu cha ze chi ni ne ge la ma je ba ta ye ze ge cha da ne tu da ge ba lo ba yu yang da ge la me ja do ze ka ge re je de ji ni ge ji ni la cha wa ga la ma re je da ba do je je sha pe la Kanda chacho tonga chidya na deshe lomar jirwa ka wata tanda tamba chanye chara beba sabba dhumara tamche deshe she taso asim chatam chalo chosan towa chinje lam toso che lam ton towa chinje lam toso lam toba sawa chinje lam toso. Good evening, everybody. Please refresh your motivation that through this study, understanding Dharma, that we do this to attain complete enlightenment for ourselves, Buddhahood, and for the sentient beings as well.
所以现在呢，我们要就是重新思考一下，思维一下我们的发心动机，是为了利一切众生以及我们自己来成就佛道。
Okay. Now we have to go through this, isn't it? So I was requested to go through this root text of the Mahayana teachings, the essence of Mahayana teaching. So here first you see this name of the writer was a disciple of Jigte Sungkun. His name was called, he has a few different names. One is called Ngorchereba. And then the Pebugompa, as well as called Shetan Dorje. So those different names. So before he met Jigte Sungkun, he was a great scholar. He studied quite, should say, extensive in the Sutra and the Vajrayana teachings. And then during those times, Lord Jigte Sungkun was become very famous. He gathered hundreds and thousands of disciples. So he was wondering why a lot of people going to see him, Jigte Sungkwe, that many amount of practitioners. So Jigte Sungkwe, Jigte Sungkwe was, should say, he achieved Buddhahood in his life, first of all. Okay, he was born in such a way. Even when he was, his father was great practitioner and a scholar as well. So because of this, he got great opportunity to relate to the Dharma. And he started reading, writing, even when he was young. And he became expert on this. Then also he was always aware of this life, impermanence, the suffering of the sentient beings. So he reads a lot the Buddha's Kanjur, the teachings and all. And then he met also many different teachers. He received the stages of the path, the Lamrim, as well also Mahamudra teachings when he was in the teenage from 10 to before he met Pamudrupa, which was 25. So between that he met different teachers, he studied extensively. But then when he was 25, he heard of Pamudrupa's name. And Pamudrupa was, that time, he was a disciple of Kambupa, and he was very famous, Pamudrupa. He was great scholar. He studied extensively from all the different teachers that exist at that time. And finally, Pamudrupa met Kambupa. So then Kambupa was a scholar as well, of course, He studied all the Kadampa's tradition. And then he met Milarepa, received all the Mahamudra teachings, as well all the Vajrayana, including the 6 yogas, Narupa. He expert all of those things, and his realization was also as Buddhahood, because Milarepa advised him to practice, You receive all those teachings. Now it's not enough just receive the teachings. You must now practice. Don't go wandering here and there. You just sit in a solitude place, meditate. So that Kambupa did. So Kambupa achieved enlightenment, Buddhahood in his life. So because of these reasons, when Pamudrupa met Kambupa, Pamudrupa, he expressed how much he studied. So Kambupa was a little amazed his scholarship. But then just to bring down on the ground, say, Nagarjuna, say, knows more than you know. And then Pamudrupa said, I went to retreat for 7 years and achieved high level of this meditation practices. Kambupa said, I did retreat for 40 years, So anyway, with these conversations, then Pamudrupa was very impressed. Kambupa was not something ordinary person. So he asked some very important questions, and Kambupa, just without any hesitation or confusion, he just spoke directly what Pamudrupa needs. And then Pamudrupa was totally satisfied Kampopa's all the instructions, so he became the one of the top disciple of Kampopa. So with that, he received the rest of the Kampopa's teachings, and then after Kampopa passed away, Pamutuba became very famous. So many disciples got together, So that time, then Lord Jigten Songpan from eastern Tibet, he made journey to central Tibet, and he met Pamutuba when Jigten Songpan was 25. So he attended for over 2 years. During that time, he studied and received all the lineage, Kagyupa lineage teaching from Katamba, all the Adisha's lineage, and from Milarepa's lineage, totally. And then Pamutuba was very kind of satisfied as Jigten Songpan was his perseverance and devotion, his dedication in the Dharma practice, not just only study, He receives teaching during the daytime and practice meditation in the evening, like that. So after over two years, yes, to say, I should say like 32 months he studied, received all the teachings. And then Pamutuba passed away. Then right after that, Jigten Songpan went to retreat for first 5 years. And then he made a short break after 5 years. And then again he went back to the retreat for 2 years. So total 7 years. So when Jigten Songpan was 35, then he attained Buddhahood. So then there's a famous, he made a famous song wrote. Within a few days, he said, now I realize the nature of the interdependence, the patita samoda bhata, the inner interdependent, the outer interdependent, the secret interdependent, the ultimate interdependent natures. This interdependence is the core nature of the whole phenomena that exists, There's nothing is independent, so it's called interdependent, Everything rises from the interdependent. Nothing rises from the independent, So our thoughts also, you look at our mind, there's a lot of thoughts coming out from depending to something, under the condition of something, So you see, look to our own mind, you see. Our suffering is interdependent. Our peace and happiness is interdependent. There's all rise out of the causes and conditions, So Jigten Songpan so precisely actualize all those reality natures. And he said, I reveal the treasure of the Vajrayana teachings totally. And my meditation, there's no gap between post and, meditation itself. So always in the equipoise state. So now I became a great yogi, who realized, yogi. Some people think yogi is some who is not monk, So lay practitioner, they call some lama who doesn't wear robes, that's called yogi, Misunderstanding, Yogi means yoga. Now yoga exercise, Okay. Your minds are so much influenced by this yoga exercise. Oh, that's a yogi. He's a yogi. No, he's not monk, he's a yogi, you say. This, you haven't understood what means yogi, yoga. Yok, it's called yoga. In Tibet it's called Neljur. Okay. Neljur. Jor means nel, means the uncontrived, as it is called mortal abiding. No, Jor means realize that, the realizing as it is, uncontrived, unfabricated, okay, direct enlightenment nature. The enlightenment Buddhahood is the absolute yoga. No? So I realized that. So like that. So then since then he started giving teachings. And let's see. Then especially when he was 37, then from central Tibet, he went towards Lhasa, and from Lhasa to the Dikung area, northeast of Lhasa, the Dikung, not so far, maybe 3 hours by driving to get there. So that when he was 37 years, then he established a monastery there. Okay.
所以今天我们要教授的这个根本颂呢，它的作者是护祖吉天松共的弟子，他有很多个称号，其中一个称号是叫 Sheda Dorje。所以在他见到护祖吉天宗共之前呢，他也是一个大学者，就是有广大的研读了许多经教还有密续的这些经典。护祖吉天松共当时非常的著名，他有百千万的这些弟子。那这个作者呢，他就很好奇，为什么大家都去见护祖吉天松共，然后都要跟他学习。护祖吉天松共呢，他在一世之间就已经证悟成佛。当时他的父亲呢，也是一个大的这个修行者和大学者，所以他从很小的年纪就开始修学佛法，因此有非常专业的这些修习。他对于这一世的这一些状况，包括了痛苦、无常等等呢，都有觉知。他也就是有研读大藏经等等。在他少年时期呢，就已经跟很多大师学习研读经典。在他25岁的时候呢，他就见到了帕默竹巴尊者。帕默竹巴尊者呢，他也是本身也是一个大师，然后也是一个大学者。帕默竹巴呢，他是这个冈波巴大师的弟子。冈波巴大师呢，他本身也是来自卡当巴的这个传承，然后也精于精通纳若六法的修持。他就是他学习了许多这些经教的内容之后呢，他后来遇到了密勒日巴尊者，并且跟随密勒日巴尊者修学。密勒日巴尊者就告诉冈波巴大师，就是不能只是研读这些经典，他必须进入这个寂静处来进行禅修。所以最后呢，这个冈波巴大师也在一世之间证悟成佛。帕默竹巴尊者他就是遇到冈波巴大师之后，这个冈波巴大师呢，他就带领他就是走入修持的这个实修的这个道路。因为他告诉他说帕默竹巴当时他就跟冈波巴大师说，我已经进行了7年的这个闭关，所以其实我这个意思就是说我这个修持也是很好了。冈波巴大师就回复他说，我已经闭关40年了。所以他们的这个对话呢，令帕默竹巴尊者印象深刻。然后他也请益了一些至关重要的问题。冈波巴大师他就直接的点出了帕默竹巴尊者他需要的这个答案，因此帕默竹巴尊者呢，他非常信服 冈波巴大师，并且呢在他那边领受了这个教法。这个冈波巴大师他入灭圆寂之后呢，这个帕默竹巴尊者后来就也成为一个非常著名的大师。或者吉田松贡当时他在25岁的时候，就从西藏的东部到了这个帕默竹巴的这个地方，然后向他修学了2年，在他的身边学习了2年。他从他这边领受了一切的这个传承法教，包括了这个卡当巴的教法，还有就是噶举的这个教法。然后呢，就是接着呢，后来他就把这些这个护主吉天松贡，他不但学习了这些经教的内容，而且他也不断同时的精进来实修进行禅修。在他在帕默竹巴尊者身边学习了2年或者是22个月之后呢，他就这个帕默竹巴尊者他就圆寂了。吉天松贡护主吉天松贡，他接着呢就进入了5年的闭关，然后他间中呢就有停顿一段时间，接着他又进入了2年的闭关，所以呢总共所以在他35岁的时候呢，他就证悟成佛。他当时呢已经了悟到了这个内在、外在以及究竟的这个相呢，诸法都是因缘和合而生的，所以一切显象的升起都是仰赖因缘的和合，所以没有一个事物呢不是因缘和合而生的。不论我们所经历的这些痛苦、安乐等等，一切都是因缘，因为有因缘而产生的。或者吉天松贡他就说到，他已经揭露了这个金刚乘教法的这些宝藏，把它揭露出来。他曾经安住在这个禅定当中，所以现在呢，他就成为一名这个瑜伽士。而这个仁波切他就有说明到，这个瑜伽士呢，不是我们现在所了解的这个 yoga 瑜伽的这个瑜伽士。所以在过去呢，这个瑜伽就是 yoga，所以它在藏文是 nejo，所以这个 nejo 里面这个 ne 呢就是如是的意思，然后这个 jo 呢就是了悟，如是了悟，就是直接能够证悟成佛之意。然后这个护主吉天松贡呢，他在37岁的时候，他就从西藏的中部去到拉萨，接着去到直贡这个地方，然后呢开始建立他的这个寺庙。
Okay. So then, so many, as mentioned, so many disciples are gathering, every year, hundreds and hundreds of thousands, Then also, Jigdasung uses some special terminologies in the Dharma sense, which is not used to use before at his time, from his enlightened mind, by knowing, understanding of the whole reality nature, about the suffering and the cause of suffering, and this happiness of the happiness, peace and happiness, and the cause of that, within in samsara and beyond samsara, nirvana. So when he uses some special terminologies that that before scholars they don't use. So because of this, and this great scholar, Ngochreba, he was not so kind of happy, that he was just thinking, there's so many are coming. I don't know. They may be confused. I cannot tell. So and these terminologies are not used to be used before. This does cause some just example. The prescribed, the prescribed is prescribed. All the whether is and Vinaya, Sutra, Vajrayana. The prescribed is prescribed all the way. And then prescribed, the word prescribed. Prescribed is prescribed. So prescribed is all the Dharma that what we have to practice with the taught. How Buddha taught was all the virtues, virtuous practice, understanding is Buddha prescribed. Equally to Vinaya, to the Vajrayana. And all the cause of suffering are the cause of suffering that Buddha prescribed, whether it's Vinaya or to the Vajrayana. Otherwise, there's some concession. I'm sure you have heard of in Vinaya, these are not allowed, but Vajrayana is allowed. Have you heard of those things? Like, for example, like a little alcohol. In Vinaya, not allowed alcohol, but in Vajrayana, yeah, allowed. Have you heard of that? Gyaltshen said, no. Cause of suffering is a cause of suffering. Doesn't matter what you practice. Vinaya, Vajrayana, that's no exception. When it is a cause of suffering in Vinaya, that how it can become a cause for happiness in Vajrayana. How Buddha can contradict that. So like these things, a lot of those things. So this scholar, he was long, become so great scholar about those things. So he thought, I cannot stay here. I must go debate him. At least I have to clarify what he's talking about. So then he made a journey for many days. And then next day, when he's arriving to Dikung, to see Gyaltshen, Gyaltshen told to his attendant there, tomorrow there's one important person is coming. Let him come directly. Don't stop him. Then yes, next day he came. And they all welcomed him. Gyaltshen was sitting on the throne. He sat there. Then Gyaltshen asked what you have studied, this, what kind of sutras, Vajrayana, all the different texts you have studied, and how your experience. So like that exchanging. During that exchange, and he prepared actually several different important questions. He prepared those questions, then he said himself, if he can answer all these questions that I prepared, then he must be a great teacher, because he was such a great scholar, So during that conversation time, without asking the questions, Gyaltshen answered all his questions. And all his doubts are just dissolved. He just saw Gyaltshen as real, the Buddha. All his doubts, everything just dissolved. And that moment, Jidusung will become his root guru there. No. Then he stayed with that. So he's attended Jidusung for 11 years, studying, practicing. No. So he wrote. So then, when Jidusung passed away, then he wrote this text. Very important. This has a complete text. This is root text, only short, very short root text. But the commentary, he made a commentary, huge commentary. We have in the book, printed a few years ago in Nepal, the Darjeeling Monastery. So that there's the commentary and then Mahayana history, teachings, and a brief life story of Chikta Sungun. It's a complete text he wrote. So that's what is that he was such a great teacher, And when you study that, you can see that he has memorized whole Buddha's teaching, Kanjur and the Tenjur. So many quotations that is there. Yeah. And where what we taught is Buddha's teaching is Mahayana teaching. Okay. The ultimate focus is Buddhahood. Because Buddha was Mahayana. Buddha was not Hinayana. Vinaya is Mahayana. But Mahayana can practice, Vinaya can practice all. Beginner, we as a beginner. And then gradually it's a stages of the path. Then Theravada system. Then from there, Mahayana. Okay. Because a whole complete Vinaya teachings, only Buddha can teach. Not even great like disciple Shariputra cannot teach Vinaya. All the details of those, in the Vinaya. Even Shariputra cannot teach. Even Bodhisattvas for 10 bhumis cannot teach, except Buddha's wisdom. See? So that's how Jidusung's understanding of the Buddha's teaching. Jidusungun totally captured the complete nature of the Buddha's teaching. So those teachings are compiled. This is one of the very important texts. Yeah. And then there you have heard of Konchog, in there, all the important points put together by another his disciple, Chengashrab Chune. This. So when you study this, what Jidusungpa taught, then you develop such a great devotion to Buddha. Yes, yesterday I mentioned, just short, yesterday I just mentioned a brief history of Buddha, how Buddha taught. See, Buddha cannot contradict any teachings that's mentioned, in Vinaya, this is not allowed, but in Vajrayana, this is allowed. How you can contradict himself? Okay, so, and also about the power of the mind. Every individual we have here will come about the Buddha nature, that everyone has Buddha nature. What that's about. Buddha nature is not easy to capture. Only Buddha can directly see. even great bodhisattvas who are like 8th, 9th, 10th Bhumi bodhisattvas, they cannot see the Buddha nature of individuals as precise as Buddha. Oh. So that's why we, by studying how Jiddu Sungku talked, where Buddha talked, then you can see how much you can develop devotion to Buddha. You know? So that's okay. So now, first you can.
所以当时呢，这个护主吉天松共他建立了这个在直贡建立了寺庙之后呢，就是他就是聚集了许多的这些弟子在那边学习，然后其中一个呢就是这个多杰内巴，然后他当时呢就来到这边跟随这个护主吉天松共学习。然后他就看到他的这个教法呢，就是包含了所有的一切的小乘，一直到大乘的这些教法的内容，以及金刚乘的这个内容。然后这个护主吉天松共他的教授呢，主要就是他不会说因为这个小乘。有些就是人会说哦，有些小乘的戒律呢，是不允许做某些事情。那金刚乘当中却又是允许的，比如说饮酒，小乘戒律当中是不允许，然后金刚乘又允许。那有些人就会觉得这样子的说法是非常冲突的。护主吉天松共他就说到，一切的这个苦因都是相同的，不能够说那怎么又会能够说这个小乘当中的这个苦因，它会成为大金刚乘当中的乐因呢？这样子是非常矛盾的。所以这个多觉内巴这个弟子呢，他就去见到护主吉天松共的时候，当时护主吉天松共在这之前已经知道他要来，他就已经事先知会他的侍从，就是让这个人呢来见他。他们两个相见的时候呢，护主吉天松共他就询问了这个多觉涅巴他的这个学习研读佛法的过程，还有他有什么经历等等，他们就互相交换了一些这些想法，然后他就有准备了一些这个重要的问题想要询问护主吉天松共。可是他还没有开口问他这些问题之前，护主吉天松共就已经全部回答了他所有的这些想要问的问题，所以他也因此去除了心中的这些疑惑，他就完全把护主吉天松共看成是真佛一般，所以他就成了护主吉天松共的近身弟子。他也就跟随着他学习了11年，在护主吉天松共身边，包括了所有的经教以及实修的这个法门。护主吉天松共后来入涅槃圆寂之后呢，他就写下了这个大乘经要的内容。在这个我们手上的这个所拿到的是根本颂，所以是比较短的。其实它还有很长的这个注疏的部分，也就是说明的部分，没有包含在我们今天的这个根本颂当中。所以它所造的这个注疏呢，以及这个大乘经要的内容是非常广大，包含了所有的这个解说，以及护主吉天松共生平等等事迹等等。所以他是护主吉天松共的一个非常重要的弟子。他其实已经可以完全背诵这个康珠尔还有丹珠尔的这些内容。他护主吉天松共教授的内容呢，它其实是主要是能够引领我们成佛的大乘之道。 这个小乘的教法呢，它其实是初学，就是一个初学的部分，它是一个渐进的这个修学过程。它让我们首先从这个小乘，然后慢慢进入到这个大乘的道路。所以，他部主极限松共的这个教授是包含了小乘以及大乘的，还有金刚乘的这些内容。这个完整的小乘教法呢，其实只有佛有能力宣说，详细的宣说。即使是舍利子或者是这个实地的菩萨都没有办法去完整的细致的讲解讲授。部主极限松共呢，他却能够就是完整却能够就是掌握了这个佛陀教法的这些精要，所以他将所有的这些精要呢，都这个弟子就把它完整的就是编撰在这个大乘精要这个根本颂以及所有的著作里面。另外就是有一本非常著名的著作，就是正法一义工具，它其实就是护主极限松共他的弟子们一起将他的教法呢编撰成这本书。然后就是佛呢他的这个教授其实都是毫无矛盾的地方，他不会自相矛盾。不论它是大乘的内容、金刚乘或者是小乘的内容，他们其实都是合理，就是相互之间都是互通的。所以，另外就是我们说到一切的众生都具有佛性，可是只有佛呢，它可以照见每一个众生，每一个个体他的这个佛性。即使是好像八九十地的这些菩萨，他们都没有办法关键单一众生、个别众生的这个佛性。所以从护主极限松共的这个教授里面，我们就可以看到，这个佛他的教法之伟大，并且对他升起前进心。
Thank you. Jewel ornament of liberation, and that text or book is Lamrim, first Lamrim teaching wrote in Tibet by a Tibetan master. It is all about the Mahayana, but it's a sutra system. There's no Vajrayana. Here in this, the essence of the Mahayana teaching here is also Lamrim, but both Sutra and Vajrayana Tantra system. Yeah. Now, instead of talking too much here, in Sanskrit it said why it's just strange little bit. In Sanskrit it's called Mahayana Neta Shasana Ritaya Nama. And in Tibetan, teacher the Beijing Bo, and when you translate that, the heart essence of Mahayana teaching better. That's the name of the text. Then next is mentioned part 1 is this is the pay homage to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. It is the paying homage to the Buddhas, Bodhisattva when you translate from Sanskrit to Tibetan. Okay. And then next four verses, there's no translation, isn't it? You have that? Next 4 verses, there's no translations, only Tibetan. Okay. I don't know what happened. This the first verse is paying homage to the Buddha, and the second verse is the how it's written text. Okay, If I just briefly say about this, when you write, certain texts, first you pay homage to Buddha or like a Tara or Manjushri or your guru, so this is here paying homage to Buddha. What is here said is Buddha Dharmakaya and Sabokakaya. Okay. Buddha Dharmakaya, Jurme Namta, Ramshit Dumache. Can you read Tibetan? No. Okay. Jurme, unchanging nature. Dharmakaya never changes. Our nature of the mind being as emptiness will never change that. Even one is reborn in the hell realm, still your mind, the ultimate mind is the emptiness. So unchanging nature. You mean? And that's totally pure by itself. Naturally, it's pure by itself. It's not what's called not related to obscurations. So Jume Namda and Rapshi totally peacified, totally peace by itself, and it is uncompounded. Nobody has met your mind. Yeah. It's primordially your mind is there. That Buddha revealed that, who revealed directly. So we are describing who is the Buddha. So the actual Buddha Dharmakaya is unchanging nature and totally pure, and is absolute peace. We call undefiled peace. And it is not compounded, uncompounded. See, because of our mind, our Buddha nature that we have, that Buddha nature is same as this. Because of that, we are desire for peace and happiness. It is our nature. Even we have some temporary peace, we appreciate. We never get tired of being at peace, and happiness. See, we get tired of suffering. See, because it's not our nature. That's why if we make effort, you can achieve, which will come later, Here, it's just that's called Buddha Dharmakaya. Okay. Then Kanyam Topju that is equal to the space. Buddha Dharmakaya is equal to the space. No fringes. It's adorned the 10 strength. 10 strength, 4 fearlessnesses, 18 unmixed qualities. The 10 strength, just for example, from the one is called knowing from right to wrong. Which is right, which is wrong, Buddha can point directly. So this is cause of suffering. And this is a cause for peace and happiness. Without confusion. No. That's why yesterday I mentioned, how Buddha taught Dharma teaching will never change, has never changed, and will never change in the future. Because that is how it is. Uchu. Then From there, this Sambhogakaya manifests to benefit sentient beings. Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya both. Namdin, great liberator. The Buddha, Sambhogakaya, manifests to the Bodhisattvas and taught all the profound, vast teachings. And Buddha Shakyamuni is Nirmanakaya. He came on this planet, as we know, and how much people received the teaching from that, and how many are benefited. You see, Buddha was born, as I mentioned, he was born in Lumbini, and then Buddha enlightened in Bodh Gaya, and they started teaching from Satnath, Varanasi, you know, and all his rest of his life. Not so big place. Now called Bihar state. Now Buddha's message went from east, from Myanmar, Burma, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Indonesia, so much, even Malaysia, and then to like Singapore, and then you see to Father Vietnam, all in the east, and then west, with the teaching went to Pakistan, Afghanistan, Kashmir, all in Asia, and then you say to China, Tibet, Mongolia, you see, you can imagine. That Buddha's teaching is just like when you read the life story of Marpa, how he sacrificed the Marpa, went to India 3 times, met great master like Narupa, Metipa, by himself, enduring hot weather. You can imagine. That time there was no train, no buses, no transportation, just walk. Month after month, in the forest that time. See, from high altitude Tibet, cold, went down to the hot, and brought all those Buddha's teaching. He exchanged all those teachings with the gold. He collected gold. And went to India. It's all you see. And how many people are benefited from Buddha's teaching? How many achieve enlightenment? You can imagine. Even just in our Kagyu lineage, from Kambupa, you see, then you see the Karma Kagyu, Dukpa Kagyu, Taklung Kagyu, Dikung Kagyu, Shuksub Kagyu, Marpa Kagyu. There's so many great teachers produced. And our Dikung Kagyu alone, as yesterday mentioned, yes, it's to us, how disciples just established. Those who give teachings to the group or to the gathering. So now you go for retreat. And so many just died in the mountain with just meditation. No trace left. So you see, you can admit that's how you can develop devotion to Buddha. The Buddha's teaching has benefited. It's training of the mind. Your mind has to be trained. Train means in pure nature itself, nothing to train. But it's called adventitious defilement. The temporary, all these inveterate propensities that we have need to purify those. So that which is called state of the liberate sentient beings, you see. 那么这within the cloud of the compassion that pervades all sentient beings, and then the reign of the peaceful teaching Dharma, and motions the mind of the sentient beings everywhere. So I pay homage to the Sukkata. It's one verse, okay, very short, okay.
在解脱庄严宝论是西藏的第一个次第广论，道次第的这个广论，然后它是教授大乘的内容，而今天我们要宣说的这个大乘精要，它也是一个道次第，可是它包含了经序以及密序的内容，然后这部法本这个典籍，它的名字就叫《大乘精要》。所以在你们看到我们的这个根本颂的第一个部分呢，首先他就宣说了他的这个名字叫做《大乘教法精要》。接着呢，第一个部分，他首先顶礼一切佛陀与菩萨。所以这个是我们一般在这些经典一开始的部分都会有，就是他们在造这些典籍的时候，这些作者他会就是先进行顶礼，比如说顶礼诸佛菩萨等等。那在这边他是顶礼佛，然后以及他的这个法身还有报身，然后这个法身呢是不会改变的，它是自性清净，而且是全然的这个全然的充满安乐无造作，然后它是佛揭露出来的，所以它是究竟非常清净的。不主吉天松共它所以也因此呢，这个我们本然具有这样子的一个性质，因此我们的自信呢，就是希求能够获得安乐。所以在处在安乐当中，我们不会觉得疲倦。可是如果是处在痛苦当中，我们就会感到疲倦。所以呢，就是只要我们能够精进的修持，我们都能够获得成就。那是因为我们本来就具足这样子的一个佛性。这个佛的法身呢，它就如同于虚空一般。所以这个佛陀他在获得证悟之后呢，他有这样子的能力去指出来，比如说什么是正确的做法，什么是错误的做法，他能够毫无迷惑的去指出，并且呢给予这个究竟的教法。而这个教法呢，它是由于是真理的缘故，它是不会改变的。这个报身呢，就是菩萨的显象。然后释迦牟尼佛他就是化身，他以化身的方式来到我们这个人世间来利益一切众生。他在伦比尼这个地方降生，最终获得证悟，并且在瓦拉纳西开始传授他的这个佛法。佛陀他在他的这个教法呢，就是传到东方的地方，就是比如说泰国、老挝、这个越南等地，还有新加坡、马来西亚这些地方。然后往西呢，它也传播到巴基斯坦这些地方，另外还有就是包括中国、蒙古等地，所以它其实有广大弘扬到各地。接着呢，在这个马尔巴的这个生平故事里面，他到印度去3次，就是从印度走到从西藏走到印度，只是为了求取像 那若巴等大师呢，求取这个佛陀的法教。然后他当时带了很多的这个金子，就是去为了收集这个求取佛陀的这个教法。所以我们可以看到，由于他的这个所做的这些善法呢，所以如今利益了许多的人，许多的众生。因为他把这个佛陀的教法传播到西藏，然后他当时这个利益受益者呢，包括了这个比如说整个西藏的这些佛教的宗派，包括噶举派。像噶举派呢，也有许多不同的教派分出来，包括噶玛噶举、竹巴噶举、直贡噶举等等，也就是这些都是从佛陀的教法分支出来的，所以我们就可以看到它的伟大之处，它可以就是因为它的教法呢，可以利益到这些无量的众生。后主吉恩松贡他也派遣了许多弟子，由于这个佛陀的教法就是他所讲授的这个佛陀的教法呢，利益了这些弟子，然后他派他们去进行闭关，然后你就可以看到这些许多的修行者都对佛陀的教法升起了极大的信心。他的教法主要就是要让我们能够去能够调伏自心，调伏我们的烦恼，让这个就是我们如何可以从让众生获得解脱的方法。所以在这边另外呢，这个寄颂当中也说到，所以这个佛陀的教法，它就如同降下的雨一般，然后可以滋润滋养这些众生。
Oh, thank you. And next is how it is written. So he said here, I will write down. La, Tadaya, Ale. You need some questions and answer? Who has some questions? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, read.
First question, what is the difference between Dzogchen and Mahamudra?
The name is different. Yeah. And see, meaning is same thing. In the Konchog mentioned, in the Konchog, Toba, Tawa Choju, Toba Tangtamba, Chebu Sumji Marik Toba Cho. Say, or perhaps maybe say, third Karma Pa, Rangjung Dorje. He wrote the Mahayana, the Mahamudra prayer. So in that text mentioned the Madhyamika and Uma, yes, Madhyamika, Dzogchen, and Mahamudra. When you know one, you know the others. So Chikshi Kundu Toba. So when we know the others, you just understand, you know. So like that, also in the Konchog said, Chenpo Sumje Mari Toba Cho. So in the actual, see, as I mentioned, the two different names, Mahamudra name, Dzogchen name, and Madhyamika's just name. It's terminology. In reality, nature, when you experience, it is inexpressible. Okay. because it is beyond ordinary conceptual thoughts. It's the nature of that like Mahamudra, you should say, Mahamudra nature itself is inexpressible. Likewise, Dzogchen, Madameka. So it's called Chimbusumji Marik Topacho. So the realization, that the supreme realization of that itself is beyond these three great, means Mahamudra, Dzogchen, and the Madhyamika. Okay, so there's in reality there's no different, because you see, when you look at your mind, my mind, how you can see difference. Maybe I can say my mind is better than your mind. Okay.
所以第一个问题是问到这个大手印和大圆满有什么不同的地方？仁波切他就回答到，名字不同，可是意思是相同的。在正法一义当中，有说到，就是这个噶玛巴三世，就是软中多劫呢，他有一个这个大手印的这个祈愿文里面也有说到，所以就是不论是中道、大手印或大圆满，他们其实都是相同的。你只要了悟其中之一，你就了悟其他的。所以在这个正法一义当中说到，这三者呢，他们其实就是名相上的不同，可是从究竟而言，只要你已经有所这个体验，就是说你已经了悟，或者是你已经体验到的话呢，其实它是无法用言语来描述的，它是超越这种概念的一切的概念，所以这个了悟呢，它其实是超越了这个大手印、大圆满或者是中道的这些名相，所以我们可以关照自心。那你可以看看你的心和我的心其实是没有任何分别的。
Okay, what's the next?
Rinpoche, how can we transform our current work stress and dealing with difficult people into the path of practice?
Just samsara is difficult. Okay. You know, of course, there's conditions outside. It makes difficult. The outer conditions, because as mentioned, is interdependent, interconnected. All are just interdependent. All are just manifestation of our mind. When you have more thinking, more kind of exposed, then there's a lot of things comes from the mind, and then you create such an environment. Then we're stressed. See, just everything is product of the mind. Okay. Just like saying, all this you see, this everything we have here is made by the mind. Yeah. All these modern technologies, IA or AI, robots, There are so many robots. They keep coming, because your mind thinks something, and they create, develop from that, make more complex. It's a product of the mind. That shows how our mind is so complex. So when you know how to rest the mind, this all are just product of the mind. There are some individuals who are greedy. They try to take over for their own profit. But there's nothing to be afraid of. As mentioned, the mind, you cannot demonstrate your mind from the machine. No matter how sophisticated the machines are. Because machines are what call matter. It's all a matter, and mind is consciousness. Consciousness is like the air. Can you measure the air in the machine? Can you measure the space in the machine? So mind is like space. It's called inner space, outer space. So we have to know how to make our mind, or we should know how to protect your mind. Just see everything is just illusion. It is illusion. No. Just a manifestation. We should learn that. Then you practice loving kindness, compassion to all the sentient beings. Everyone desire for peace and happiness. Even your enemy who irritates you, that individual also desire for peace and happiness. Because of that, we can practice love and compassion to those individuals. It's our own benefit. When you practice that, you got the first place, the benefit. That person still may be suffering. So that's how it's called, how Buddha taught how to be wise, skillful. So Buddha's teaching is when you study practice, it's not a religion. Buddha's teaching, Buddhism, we call Buddhism, is made from somewhere from outside. Buddhism, Hinduism, it's something like kind of like a religion. It's not a religion. Buddha's teaching is what you call. It's the way how to function things as we desire for. All this stress, all this kind of confusions are called confusion. They are called fabricated. And then we suffer from that. So look at the jewel ornament of liberation right at the beginning. After they paying homage, and after saying, Prabhupada said, I'll write down, paying homage to Milarepa and so forth, So all the phenomena are within the two categories. Two categories, samsara and nirvana, mentioned there. Have you read that? All phenomena are within two categories, samsara and nirvana. The nature of samsara is what mentioned, it's emptiness. The mental formation of that samsara is confusion. We're confused. So that confusion characterized as the suffering. Suffering comes from the confusion, delusion. When the confusion and delusions are dissipated, taken care of, there's no any cause of suffering.
所以接下来这个问题是问到，我们要如何去转化我们在工作中的这些压力，还有就是以及那些非常困难的那些人事就是我们要如何去把它就是以这个佛法的修持方式来对治。那么接他是说到呢，就是我们。这个他说到，就是轮回其实就是很辛苦的、很痛苦的，所以一切可是呢，他们其实都是因缘和合而生的，所以它其实也是我们的心所造作出来的，就是一切的这些轮回中的事物，他们都是我们心的这个投射，然后也是万物由我们的心所造出来。包括了现在的科技、AI、机器人等等，这些呢产物都是显示出我们的心是非常复杂的。然后可是再怎么样，这个心呢，它也没有办法直接像这个机器，就是直接展示。那指的就是呢，这个机器呢，它毕竟还是由这个物质的东西所造出来，然后我们的心，也就是意识，它是如同虚空一般的。那我们要知道如何去保护我们的心，也就是要去了悟到一切的这个诸法呢，它就是如同幻象。我们要去修持慈心、悲心，然后对一切众生来修持，即使是我们的敌人他们来激怒你的话，你也要对他尽可能的修持慈心悲心，然后其实如此修持，首先获得利益的是我们自身，我们那个来就是就是来激怒我们的人，他可能还处在痛苦当中，可是我们已经首先由于修持佛法的缘故，我们已经首先获益。因此呢，佛陀的教法它是充满智慧以及善巧方便的。佛陀的教法它不是一个宗教，它是告诉我们事物它是如何来运作的，一切的这些迷惑它其实都是造作出来的，所以这个痛苦呢，也是从这种迷惑当中升起。解脱庄严宝论在一开始的时候就说到，一切的这个诸法呢，分成两种，诸法的显象分成两种，一种是轮回，一种是涅槃，所以它都是从这个轮回的本质呢，它就是从这个迷惑中升起，然后涅槃呢是由这个空性中升起，所以这个迷惑和这个幻象呢，它创造了痛苦，只要我们去除它呢，就等于去除了苦因。
Okay, next.
How to realize the prajna paramita from words into meaning?
How to realize paramita?
Yeah. From words to meaning.
What?
From like the surface of the words into its actual meaning. How do we go about to realize it?
To realize it. First, you realize, as I mentioned, everything is manifestation. Okay. All are just play of the causes and conditions. See? Nothing is substantial. That's the reality nature. But in our mind, we are grasping. This temple is real. I can touch. I can hold on. No, I am real here. I have real pain, suffering, My ego is very strong, very sensitive, fragile, very easy to hurt. Something my ego is there. That prevents us to realize the Panchaparamita. Okay. When you understand about this all just as mentioned, manifestation. This product of the mind. They keep changing. Nothing is real. You see, there are people who work all their life, say, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, you know. I am here. So all surroundings is mine. The day when you leave, nothing is yours. You leave everything behind. Even this body we cherish so much, we leave behind. Now, where's mine? Make sense? So understand these things. Yeah. And then once you understood that, then in the Panchaparamita, you know Heart Sutra, everybody is chanting Heart Sutra. How many people have memorized Heart Sutra here? Anybody memorized? No. I'm saying in Chinese, it doesn't matter. In Chinese, memorize many? Oh, doesn't matter. Chinese or Tibetan or English is just language. But the Heart Sutra is Heart Sutra. You know? See, form is emptiness. See? And emptiness is the form. But right now, what you're making, form is emptiness. Form is real. I can touch. I can see. Emptiness, I cannot see. I have to create emptiness from the form. So emptiness becomes artificial. Form is real. So how you can realize emptiness? See? When you realize the form is emptiness, then there's no attachment to the form. There's no aversion to the form. There's no ignorance at the form. But still, no, we have attachment because of what we see. I like this. I don't like this. Disuse all these things. So it's very far from realizing the emptiness, the Panchaparamita. Make sense? Yeah. So first you understand, as I'm talking about, everything's interdependent, interconnected. You can see this table, what you say, this table is long or short? What would you say? See? You see? No? If you say table is short, then you make shorter here. Compared to this, table is long. So being short is empty by its nature. We are not making short, but it's empty by nature being a short. No, if I make longer here, it's all relative. The famous scientist Einstein, he understood relativity. No, everything is relative. Good, you can say better. Then you say that's the best. So when you come to the best, good is bad. You know? And better is also bad. Everything is relative. So this, when you know this way, look inside the mind. As yesterday I mentioned, no? When you like the person, when you met first person, you like it. So I said, I can dedicate all my life for you. You know? But then after some years goes wrong, so I kill you, you know? You see, I sue you, you know? So everything's relative. That's what's called. Nothing is real. If the person is really good, should be good all the time, you know? That's not real good, you know? That's called confusion. So we realize this. That's how Buddha's wisdom is. It's not Buddha made these things. This is how they constitute. No? In the framework of the interdependence, all are just manifestation, like the waves of the ocean. Oh, they come and go. So realize this. Okay? It will help us, our mind, to relieve agony from stress. Oh. Take it easy, we say, no?
好，所以接下来这个问题呢，就是问到要如何去从字面上去了解这个般若波罗蜜多的意思。所以，仁波切他是说到，首先我们要去了解到一切的诸法其实都是显象。所以它其实都是我们所看见的、感受到的，都是这个因缘的显象，所以它并没有真实，并不是真实存在的。可是我们尽管了解这一点，我们的心还是会有所执取。我们认为自己是真实的，自己的痛苦是真实的，我的这个自我是非常强烈的。我的心很敏感、很脆弱、很容易受伤等等，那这些呢，都是让我们没有办法去了悟这个般若波罗蜜多的这种状态。所以其实一切诸法都没有真实自性。很多人一辈子忙碌的工作呢，然后想要拥有许多的这些东西，认为这些东西都是属于我的。可是最终当他离开这个世界的时候，没有任何东西是可以带走的。即使是你今天非常珍视的这个身躯，都是要把它留下来，就是不能带走的。那所以我们的心呢，到底究竟我们的这个我到底在哪里呢？这个心经当中说到色即是空，空即是色，所以这边呢，就是这个色相呢，它其实我们很多人认为这个色相是真实的，因为它可以触碰到，可以看到，然后就会反而会去认为这个空性，它因为没有办法见到，所以它好像是并不存在的。所以有些人可能就会觉得要去造作这个空性，好像是一个造作出来的概念一样。所以如果这个色相是空性的，那我们对于所看见的事物对境呢，就不会升起爱憎的这种感受。可是呢，我们又会好像对事物呢升起这种喜爱或者是厌恶的这种感受。所以首先，我们要去明白一切诸法都是因缘和合而生。比如说一张桌子，它是长或者是短，它并没有真实的一个定义，因为它的自性就是空性。所谓的短，它是相对于长而来的，所以它并没有真实的一个长或者是短存在，所以一切都是相对应的。科学家爱因斯坦他就提出了这个相对论。所以在这个相对论当中呢，比如说一切事物都是相对的，那在所谓的最好面前， 好或者是较好，它都成了坏，因为它是相对于这个最好而言。在昨天呢，这个仁波切他也说到一个例子，可能某一个人呢，他今天说他非常的爱你，他可以为你牺牲他的生命，可是可能过了一阵子之后呢，他也可以变成他说他想要杀了你。所以其实一切事物都是会因为因缘而生的缘故，所以它就会不断的改变。这个就是佛陀教法的重点，就是诸法呢，它都是显现而来的，它都是一种化现，它会来去，它都是无定性的。所以我们平常呢，就对于这些显象呢，我们要放轻松。
Okay. 3 more. We try tomorrow.
OK，
Yes.
剩下的这个问题，明天仁波切会继续。
It's good? Okay. Okay, first, please take a deep breath. Inhale.
深深的吸气，
And exhale all your stress.
吐气，把你所有的压力吐出来。
Now refresh all this we went through. Recollect if there's some helpful, some things that are useful. Just keep in your mind. Just meditate. I will use them. If you think it's not so useful, let go. Okay. We just be relaxed.
所以
Yes.
现在回忆一下你之前所听闻的教法，如果它对你是有益处的，你就将它留在心中；如果你认为没什么用处，你可以将它释放。
Okay. Then we say the dedication.
好，那我们现在要念诵回向祈愿文，也就是这个护主吉天松共 Dedication Prayer by Lord 吉天松共。请大家可以打开那个法本 Dedication Prayer by Lord 吉天松共。Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root, and lineage lamas, divine assembly of idams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yogins, yoginis, and dakinis dwelling in the 10 directions. Please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, and the inner root of virtue not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Shravaka or Pratyeka Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm me, misleading Hamaras, and the host of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that, may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinite of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the moment of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of mind as such, and the pervading clarity of Dhammata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in battle. Rinpoche.